CBS Sports College Football Postgame Show is presented by Capital One.
Welcome to the College Football Postgame Show presented by Capital One. What a crazy turning of the tide. Alabama comes back from down 28-14 to win 35-28 over Georgia. Trophy ceremony and moments. A reminder tonight on CBS begins with the neighborhood happy together and swap, followed by a new edition of 48 Hours tonight. Only CBS, as I'm joined by Rick Neuheisel and Brian Jones in the same building against the same team where he lost his starting job. Jalen Hurts comes back and saves the Tide season.
What's the song? Oh, it hurts so good. I mean, this guy was unbelievable. I have had players in my office for years, and I always tell them the definition of good luck is when opportunity and preparation collide, and that is exactly what we saw tonight. He was prepared for this moment, and he took full advantage.
Right, you always have a couple of choices when things don't go your way. You can curl up into the natural human position, which is the fetal position, or you can continue to work hard and try to get better. And in those last two drives, we saw Alabama engineered, driven by Jalen Hurts, do some mighty good work. We witnessed the progression of Jalen Hurts as a passer. He was 5 for 5 on third down. He showed off his wheels, even for a guy coming off an ankle surgery about a month or so ago. And here, the wherewithal to throw the ball in a proper spot for Judy to go up and grab it away from the defender. This guy was just truly amazing, and that defense, can't say enough about them as well. Here's a big throw right into Jalen Waddle. And the draw play, the signature play to seal the fate of the Georgia.
Look at that.
This is that A on Alabama's hat stands for amazing. They are just.
And how cool is he? Jalen Hurts, 5 of 5 on third down after Tua was 0 for 6. The worst thing that happened to Georgia was Tua getting hurt as Jalen saves the day. And we go down to Jamie Erdahl for the trophy presentation.
Atlanta, did you come for an SEC championship game or what? Congratulations once again to Alabama, the 2018 SEC champions, and your MVP of the game, Josh Jacobs. Josh, we talked this week, everything you've been through in life, everything you've been through in football. What did this game and this moment feel like for you, and standing on this stage right now and having this kind of impact on this game?
Every game just feels like a dream. To be on this stage, know that my family and my son back home is watching me, it's always special to me.
Well, congratulations on the MVP. Tua Tagovailoa, we want to ask you a question. This was a challenging game for you physically. When you went down, what confidence and what feelings did you have about your teammate in Jalen Hurts that he could get the job done that you had started tonight?
Well, you guys seen what Jalen could do last year, and for him to get his opportunity as well, I think everyone is happy, you know, and you guys got to see the success in our win tonight. So kudos to Jalen and kudos to the team as well.
How are you feeling right now?
Pardon?
How are you feeling?
Just got to get better. Just got to get better.
Jalen, everybody said that you should transfer. Everybody said that you shouldn't come back in this scenario. But what told you that you should to bring you to this moment?
I put it in God's hand. I put it in God's hands. He handled it for me, and here we are.
And Coach, I'll ask you the same question about these two quarterbacks and the teammate relationship that they have. What does that say about their relationship, the connection they've made, and just the nature of your team this season?
Well, I think it shows the character of both of these guys, the way they put team first. They both supported each other. Tua last year with Jalen this year with Tua. So I think that's what makes both these guys special, and I'm proud of both of them for what they've done for our team this year and what Jalen did coming into the game tonight.
And just to open up to the game as a whole, what in your gut told you that this group was going to get the job done when the going got tough?
Well, I've always believed in these guys. They got a lot of character, and I think they showed a lot of perseverance and resiliency tonight in coming back in this game. It wasn't always pretty, but it was with a lot of heart. And I'm very, very proud of every one of these young men for all they've done this year to win the SEC championship.
And with that, I'll introduce introduce SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey to introduce the trophy.
Thank you, Jamie. Thank you to the greatest fans in college football, fans of the Southeastern Conference. I don't know about you, but I think we just saw two of the best four teams in college football play a game this evening. President Stuart Bell, Athletic Director Greg Byrne, Coach Nick Saban. There's a championship trophy hidden back there that's yours. Somebody grab it. Congratulations. Congratulations to the University of Georgia as well on a great season.
We congratulate Alabama once again as your 2018 SEC champions. Atlanta, put your hands together.
And the celebration continues for the Tide. We've seen a lot of blowouts here in Atlanta in the SEC championship game. But Jalen Hurts, his score with 1 minute and 4 seconds remaining, the latest game-winning score in SEC championship game history. So what becomes of Georgia as the Tide move on to the playoff? We'll be back to wrap that up and talk about the playoff implications next. We welcome you back to the college football postgame show presented by Capital One as Tua Tagovailoa is on the cart for the second time today. And the rest of his teammates, they're making snow angels. Wasn't that cold here.
They may look very old, but they're still kids.
Big hugs for Jalen Hurts as he delivered the win for Alabama today, as they will be #1 in the country for sure when that college football playoff committee announces its final decisions. Another big game in the books from today related to the playoff. Oklahoma at #5, winning their 4th straight outright Big 12 championship. First team to do that since Florida in the 90s. This win avenges their only loss, which was by 3 on a neutral field against their rival. How could the Sooners not be in at this point?
Well, I think they should be in it. Now, we've seen Georgia versus Bama twice now on the big stage, and they have lost both of those games. They have yet to be able to finish versus Bama. Now, I think Georgia would run through Oklahoma's defense, but do I necessarily want to see them against Bama again in the college football playoff? No.
Well, remember, only one of those games is this year. Oklahoma gets to punch the ticket as Big 12 champion. That resonates with the committee. There's certainly going to be, but Georgia's going to be in this conversation. This was an epic game, and now we turn to Ohio State. And Urban Meyer has no doubt told his team, you've got to go and you've got to keep going. Look for them to have the gas pedal flat to the ground.
And against the Northwestern team, that's not easy to score a ton of points on.
Correct. They demolished the #1 defense in the land in Michigan last week, and now you're going up against a middle-of-the-road Big Ten defense in Northwestern. I think they put on a show, Ohio State.
And look, we're not questioning. Georgia, they were top 4 coming into this day. But what becomes of the Dogs after the loss here down to the final play against Alabama? Let's go up to Brad Nessler and Gary Danielson for more after an epic SEC championship game, guys.
Yeah, Zook, it was a great one for sure. And, you know, I heard Commissioner Sankey there say when he was on the podium, I think these are 2 of the best 4 teams in the country. I almost agree with him, but obviously with Oklahoma, I think they punched their ticket. You know, Georgia had their opportunity. They had a 14-point lead. They let it slip away like they did a year ago. But, you know, I think they're going to end up in the Sugar Bowl against Texas, and that'll be a hell of a game. So.
Maybe. I don't almost agree with them. I do agree with them. I think coming into this game, Georgia proved they're one of the 4 best teams in the country. I don't know how this committee is going to rank this. They don't probably want a rematch in the first. Well, put them 3rd then. I mean, I don't care. Georgia's one of the 4 best teams, period. That's what the committee is supposed to do. While Ohio State is playing Northwestern and Oklahoma's playing Texas with 3 losses, Georgia had to play the #1 team in the country. You can't tell me they're not one of the 4 best teams.
I totally agree. I'm just saying because of the numbers.
I know. I'm just saying, what is the committee supposed to do? Put the 4 best teams? That's what I thought they were. I've been arguing the other way. I'm told I was wrong all these years. Okay.
Well, you might be wrong in the end too, Gary. But that's the opinion. They were top 4 coming in. But this championship game for this conference, it stands as a national quarterfinal today.
I agree with him.
Right pass Notre Dame. Put Notre Dame 4 and let let Georgia play Clemson.
Well, if Georgia beats Clemson,
you're going over big.
We need to get Danielson a seat on the committee. That's what we need to do.
If Georgia plays Clemson and then they get a third shot at Alabama, can they close the deal then? Clemson in their second shot versus Bama, they were able to close the deal. Now, they didn't have a shot last year in the Sugar Bowl versus Bama, but at least in that second opportunity, they won.
Maybe Clemson does everybody a favor and lets Pitt beat them tonight.
Hey, I know one thing, guys. I have to do a Notre Dame basketball game coming up in a couple weeks, so I'm going to let him have this, and I'm going exit stage right.
Hey, Gary.
Here I am.
We'll meet you back at the hotel, and we can watch the other two games tonight. A lot of people are going to be rooting for Pittsburgh to beat Clemson now.
You know what, fellas? This is why we love sport. This is why we love sport, you know? Think about all the cliches. Finish what you start. Get up when you fall down. All those things. You don't have to say any of that anymore. You just have to say, be like Jalen.
Unreal.
That's it. Bama, you're so good. You're so good. You're so good, baby. You're so good. You're down. You're not playing your best ball in the second half. You find a way, even with your bench quarterback from last year's title game, to somehow finish this and win it. I mean, it's amazing what they've been able to accomplish under Nick Saban.
And one thing Gary nailed, Dan Enos making Jalen Hurts a better quarterback, and he delivered today. Nick Saban's 6th SEC championship with Alabama and his 8th overall and their 12th straight win here in Atlanta. We thank you for watching the College Football Postgame Show presented by Capital One. Here's a look at what's coming up tonight on CBS. A reminder, next Saturday, be sure to join us for an American tradition, the 119th Army-Navy game presented by USAA. The game is at 3 Eastern. Our coverage begins at 2:30 Eastern. The NFL on CBS kicks off tomorrow with regional action. Many will see the Chiefs and Raiders. It all gets started at noon Eastern with the NFL Today, where JB and the guys will have the latest on Kareem Hunt throughout the day. For all of us at CBS Sports, have a great evening, and congratulations, Jalen Hurts and Alabama.